Welcome to the Coaches Hub podcast, powered by Soccer Profile, the show dedicated to advancing coach education and driving player development. In this episode, we explore reflection as a key tool for growth, helping you identify strengths, address areas for improvement, and enhance both your coaching and your players' performance. Reflection isn't just about looking back, it's about moving forward with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Let's dive into this topic.
Have you ever stopped to think about how people get really good at something? You know, whether it's sports or art or even just like a tricky part of your job, it almost never just happens, right? It seems like it always comes down to this idea of continuous improvement. And today we're doing a deep dive into what really drives that improvement, reflection. Specifically, its power, which is often kind of underestimated. We're drawing insights from this really great resource. It's called the Coaches Hub. Now, it focuses on soccer coaching, sure, but honestly, the principles we're going to unpack, they feel pretty universal. So our mission here is to break down why reflection isn't just, a nice extra, but actually a fundamental tool for anyone looking to level up. The goal is for you, the listener, to walk away with some really practical, actionable ideas you can use, whether you're on a pitch or just navigating your own professional world.
Yeah, and what's really interesting in the Coaches Hub is how they frame it. It's not just presented as like a good habit. They position reflection as absolutely vital for the coach's own journey of improvement. It mirrors the same journey they guide their players through, It's this idea that to teach effectively, you have to be a constant learner yourself.
That's such a critical point to start with. So the Coaches Hub dives right into why reflection carries so much weight, and they list some really powerful benefits. You mentioned it mirrors the player's journey, but thinking broader now, what benefits really stood out to you as foundational, like for anyone leading, teaching, or even just tackling complex stuff?
Well, yeah, the resource makes it super clear. Reflection isn't just looking back. It's about actively refining what you do. They point out 4 core benefits. First one, and maybe the most obvious impact, is enhanced decision-making. It's not just about analyzing what happened, but digging into the why. So for a coach, maybe dissecting tactics or subs or training drills, but it goes deeper, understanding the thought process behind it, maybe uncovering, biases that crept in during the heat of the moment. By seeing those patterns, they can make sharper, more effective choices next time, kind of heading off those mental traps.
Right, proactive rather than just reactive. Okay, what else?
Then there's improved communication. And this isn't just about giving clear instructions. Reflection lets coaches really evaluate the impact. Did the message actually land the way you intended? How did players or staff react? Not just to the words, but maybe the tone, the body language. It's about closing that gap between what you meant and how it was received, which, helps build stronger relationships and just a tighter team overall.
Makes sense.
Third, and this is huge in pretty much any field today, is adaptability.
Yeah, things change fast.
Exactly. Coaches deal with shifting tactics from opponents, unexpected injuries, all sorts of curveballs. Reflection gives them that space to review, okay, how well did I adapt? Or where was I maybe a bit too rigid? It helps build that muscle for making strategic changes, learning to anticipate and adjust instead of just getting caught out. That adaptability is really key for long-term success.
Definitely. And the last one?
The fourth one is maybe the most transformative: personal growth. The Coaches Hub really emphasizes how reflection cultivates deep self-awareness. It's about being honest about your strengths, sure, but maybe more importantly, pinpointing those blind spots, the areas where you need to develop professionally. This deliberate self-awareness, it doesn't just make you a better coach or leader, it builds real confidence and makes your leadership feel, authentic. So if you boil it down, these aren't just nice-to-haves. They feel like fundamental pillars for anyone wanting to unlock their potential.
Yeah, it really shifts the perspective. Reflection isn't just looking back. It's more like actively engineering how you'll grow in the future, choosing to get better. Which brings up a really practical question, I think, for you listening. If these benefits are so clear, where do you even start reflecting? What specific things should you focus on?
Exactly. And this is where the Coaches Hub offers a really helpful roadmap. It breaks reflection down into these key sort of actionable areas. And like you said, it's not just a quick check-in. They suggest some pretty probing questions designed to get real insights.
Okay, let's hear them.
First up, they suggest looking at session planning and delivery. So a coach might ask, were my objectives for the session clear? And were they actually achievable for the players I had? Did the activities genuinely line up with what the team needed right now? And maybe crucially, how engaged were the players? What feedback, even nonverbal cues, did I pick up?
Right, going beyond just, did we do the drill?
Precisely. Then the focus shifts a bit to player development. This is more about the individuals within the team. The resource pushes questions like, are individual players actually progressing across all the skills, technical, tactical, and the mental side? Are they being challenged in the right way? Is someone getting bored while someone else feels totally overwhelmed? It's about tailoring things.
That individual lens is important. What's next?
Then there's the high-stakes environment, game performance. Here, the questions get really analytical. Things like, how well did our actual play match the game plan we set out? Which specific decisions I made during the game worked well? Which maybe didn't? Could a quicker adjustment have made a difference? And how did the team or individuals adapt when the opposition changed things up? It's about dissecting that real-time pressure.
Yeah, demanding stuff. Is there a fourth area?
Yes, and it's one that can sometimes get overlooked. Communication and leadership. This digs into the human dynamics. Were my instructions truly clear? How did players actually respond to feedback or motivational attempts? And maybe stepping back a bit. How did my leadership style generally influence the team dynamics? Was it positive? This goes beyond just X's and O's into the impact of your presence.
Okay, so we've got the why, sharper decisions, better communication, adaptability, personal growth, and now the what, session planning, player development, game performance, and our own leadership. But, knowing why and what, that's off of the easy part, isn't it? The real challenge is actually doing it consistently, putting it into practice.
Yeah.
So how does the Coaches Hub suggest we actually make this happen? What are the tools?
You're spot on. Implementation is everything. And thankfully, the resource gives us a pretty solid toolkit of strategies to weave reflection into the routine. One really effective one is journaling. And not just like random notes.
Right.
It's about a dedicated practice, documenting sessions, games, what went well, what was tough. The real power, though, comes from going back and reviewing those entries. Looking for patterns, recurring themes, maybe those aha moments. It turns feelings into data, almost.
I like that. Turns feelings into data. Okay, what else?
Then there's self-assessment, which is a bit more structured. This might involve using, say, a checklist or specific prompts after a session or event. It pushes you past a vague towards specifics like, okay, what one objective did I really nail today? And what one thing could I realistically do differently next time for a better result? It adds some method to the madness.
Makes it less overwhelming, maybe.
Could do, yeah. Then a really insightful one, actively seeking player and staff feedback. And this isn't passive. It's about proactively asking for input. Maybe short surveys, quick one-on-one chats, maybe even an anonymous box.
It takes some courage, though.
It absolutely does. The crucial bit is being genuinely open to constructive criticism, seeing it as valuable information, not, a personal attack. It helps you see blind spots you just can't see on your own.
True. What about tech?
Good point. For lots of people, video analysis is a total game changer. Recording training or matches lets you watch things back objectively. You can see your own body language, hear the clarity of your instructions, watch interactions, things you completely miss in the moment. You might spot tiny things, a different way of phrasing something, a change in posture that could have made a big difference. It's like getting a replay button for learning.
That sounds powerful. Any more strategies?
One more key one. Peer collaboration, basically talking to other coaches or leaders, sharing experiences, maybe in workshops, online forums, or through mentorships. You can talk through challenges, brainstorm ideas, just learn from how others approach things. It brings in different perspectives, helps you see problems in a new light.
Okay, so quite a range there. Journaling, self-assessment, feedback, video, talking to peers.
Yeah, what's great is the variety. From quiet introspection to using tech and community, which kind of prompts a question for you listening, doesn't it? Looking at these tools, which one kind of clicks with you right now? Which one could you maybe commit to trying first?
That's a good challenge. But, these strategies sound great on paper. Let's be real, though. Actually doing them consistently when you're busy. That's tough. Does the Coaches Hub talk about the barriers, the things that get in the way?
It absolutely does, which is really helpful. Because knowing the obstacle is the first step, right?
Definitely.
The number one barrier they identify, and probably the one we all feel, is time constraints. Just feeling too swamped to pause. The solution they offer is simple, but it works. Schedule it in.
Yeah.
Dedicate specific, maybe even short slots for reflection.
Like micro-reflections.
Exactly. Maybe just 5 or 10 minutes after a session or at the end of a crazy day. Consistency beats duration here. Build the habit.
Okay, that feels more manageable. What other roadblocks?
Another big one is bias. Our tendency to maybe see things through rose-tinted glasses or be overly harsh on ourselves. We filter things.
Sure.
So the advice is to really cultivate honesty and objectivity. Actively look for evidence that contradicts your initial take. Be willing to face uncomfortable truths about strengths and weaknesses. It's about catching those mental shortcuts we take.
Easier said than done sometimes.
Oh, for sure. And linked to that is the third barrier, fear of criticism. Whether that's judging yourself too harshly or worrying what others might think if you admit mistakes. The key here, according to the resource, is to completely reframe reflection. It's not about finding fault or assigning blame. It's purely a tool for growth, a developmental process, not, a judgment day.
Shifting that mindset seems crucial.
It is. And if we connect this back to the bigger picture, the Coaches Hub really stresses that this kind of regular, honest reflection isn't just about fixing small things. It's fundamental to shaping your whole coaching philosophy. It helps you clarify your values, align your actions with those values, build consistency, and ultimately that's what builds real trust and respect with your team or in your organization.
So pulling it all together then, reflection isn't just some add-on tactic or a quick fix. It sounds like it's really foundational. It's about building that internal compass that guides everything you do, shapes how you lead, and make sure you're not just busy, but actually moving forward.
Right.
Learning from every single experience.
Yeah, turning experience into insight.
This deep dive, drawing on the Coaches Hub, really makes it clear. Reflection seems to be the absolute cornerstone of effective coaching or effective leadership in general. It paves the way for that continuous improvement we talked about at the start, leading to real lasting success. It's not just about what you do. It's about how you think about what you do and how you learn from it. It really is the engine of growth.
It is, and that resource reminds us of something profound. Remember, the best coaches are not just teachers, but lifelong learners. So if reflection truly is about unlocking our potential, about continually growing, it leaves a pretty challenging question for you, the listener, doesn't it? Beyond these structured techniques we've discussed, the journaling, the feedback, the video, how do you personally cultivate that deep self-awareness? The kind you need to genuinely challenge your own blind spots, especially when it feels uncomfortable. What does it really take for you to turn a failure, or even just a moment of uncertainty, into a true source of personal growth? That's something to really chew on for your own journey ahead.
Thank you for listening to the Coaches Hub podcast, powered by Soccer Profile. We hope this episode has inspired you to make reflection a regular part of your coaching journey, using it to identify strengths, overcome challenges, and drive real growth for you and your players. Remember to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and explore the Coaches Hub for more insights, tools, and resources to elevate your coaching. Until next time, keep learning, keep reflecting, and keep striving for excellence.